10. Any more than 10.
Because I heard 30.
You didn't, because it wasn't recording your whole singing escapade.
I know, that's why I stopped. Anyways, hi. Oi oi.
There's
and
our
welcome
cold
to the
open.
Dritz Dresden channel. We are here to review Brothers, the movie with the giant dwarf and Thanos, and they meet up with
the whale,
Aunt May, and the whale, which is actually the Mummy 4.
Not the Tom Cruise remake.
Yes, there was a Mummy 4, and it's called The Whale. What's his name in the movie?
I've never seen The Whale.
No, in the Mummy.
The
main character guy. It's like Frank or something. Whatever his name is, he really lets himself go, and because he also finds a time machine, and goes into a modern day.
The Rick.
Oh, Rick O'Connell. Rick. He is. Anyways, anyway, we watched this movie. It's about two delinquents, and one of the brothers gets caught, and he gets out of jail, and he finds his brother who went legit. He has, has a kid on the way, just bought a house. He gets fired from his job, and yeah, I think is he married? Yeah, he's married. Okay, so he gets married. He's about to have a kid, and he comes out of prison. He's like, "Hey, I got a job for you," and they go on a hunt for some emeralds that their mom has hidden, and there's a whole lot of wackiness, which includes golf carts.
The best car chase ever.
Literally the best car chase scene I've ever seen in my life. It's one of those things you have to watch yourself. You can't really describe it. But definitely, if you see like a clip on YouTube, just watch it for that clip alone. Just like car chase. Not
basically
golf carts versus a bulldozer in a chase, and they're throwing golf balls at them. They're like, "Hey, you're not supposed to do that to the golf course!" Ah! And they all come. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna call my lawyer!" Ah! And all these like rich assholes are like, "This is a private club. Oh, you gotta get off of there. It's Thursday,
they do
not
maintenance
Monday."
on Mondays.
Yeah. And they're digging up a dead body, which has the emeralds in it.
Which is their mom's ex-boyfriend.
Yes. Who got shot and he bled out.
A really cool guy named Dean.
Yep. Is that his name? Dean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Dean.
Oh, that was Glenn Close. Oh, okay. And well, that was a fun scene. But anyways, let's just talk about like the fun things.
Let's first go through the cast. There isn't that many people.
We got Thanos.
Josh Brolin playing as Moke.
Thanos.
Peter Dinklage
as the giant dwarf.
Playing as JD. Then we have Moke's wife played by Taylor Page. Then we have Brendan Fraser playing as
Cop.
Officer Farfel. Then we have his father, Farfel's father, the judge, played by Emmett Walsh.
Wow.
And then we have
Aunt May.
Glenn Close playing as their mom, and a Jennifer Landon playing as a younger version of their mom.
Okay.
Then Marissa
Tomei. Come on, get to the good stuff. People want to hear Aunt May in a frickin' movie with Thanos and the giant dwarf guy.
Playing as a hippie, basically.
Yeah. Who is a free lover as well. And yeah, like I kind of said, they were two brothers and they grew up thieves, right? So since they were 12, they've been thieving, and one day their mom and her boyfriend Dean come screeching down. By the way, it's Thanksgiving. Screeching down. They're like, "Hey, we're not gonna make it for Thanksgiving dinner. We gotta scoot, but you gotta stay classy." And they speed off, and their brothers are like, "No, mother." And so for 30 years, they haven't seen their mom. They don't know what happened to her. And one day, like 30 years later or whatever, or 25 years later, they get caught doing a robbery. And
it also goes through kind of a montage of crimes that they did over the 25 years.
Yeah.
Like stealing a prize pig and then cooking it.
Yeah. They stole some go-karts. That was fun. They stole a truck filled with beer. And lots of kegs were lost, and so they got to enjoy that. And this one,
among a lot of other fun crimes.
In this particular one, they were stealing coins. These are Morgan silver dollars, and some particular dates are more rare than others, and it depended on the condition as well. But he took them out, and I was like, "Oh, those are Morgan silver dollars. Oh, they're gonna have a fun day." And of course, they get caught. So Peter Dinklage is slow, and because he's a dwarf, and he gets caught. His brother punches the guy. They go down some stairs. Peter Dinklage is carrying the stuff. He gets caught. Josh Brolin gets away. So Peter Dinklage is in prison for 5 years. He gets out. However, part of his reason why he got out so soon is he made a deal with this officer Farfel, and basically this guy is
he wants the emeralds.
He was promised emeralds, and he wants to track Peter Dinklage everywhere, and Peter Dinklage is trying to give him the slip. He's like, "Hey, look, I bought this Uzi. It only cost me two 1/100ths of a Bitcoin," and he has Peter Dinklage hold it, so now he has this prince, so he has something over him. He's like, one phone call, because he wants his money. He was promised his money, and Peter Dinklage is not gonna do that. So he recruits his brother.
But first of all, we get one of the best excuses you can ever use if you ever get in a fight. He got fun with my face.
What?
Just a way to excuse getting in a fist fight. He got fun with my face.
I don't remember that.
Because after Farfel knocks him out in the motel.
Oh. Okay. Right, I remember that.
Moke wakes him up and asks him what happened, and he says, "Oh, the guy just got fun with my face."
He just had fun with his face. He likes.
I even commented on it when we heard it.
Oh, I remember there being a lot of chaos. That's what I remember. And what happens next? So yeah, there's another. Yeah, so he recruits his brother Moke, and then Peter Dinklage gets punched in the face, as well as doing the gun thing. He gets recruited, and also Moke gets fired from his job because Labor and Employment Office of the government said that he had
let them know about all of his prior
conviction. So it's priors, yep. And we got it. And now I'm kind of off my game. Say something for the children.
Then we find out that JD in prison was messaging a lady for the last couple of months that he has a thing with, and they go to her
7
house.
months, 3 days.
They go to her house, and that's where we're introduced to Marissa Tomei's character.
Yeah, and she's a hippie, and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have some private time with with your brother, so stay in the house. And he's right. Josh Brolin is wearing like this stupid pink shirt, and his brother's like, "Oh, that looks so good on you," and it doesn't. But then they have to watch out. Samuel is mentioned, and Peter Dinklage is like, "Wait, who's this Samuel guy?" Oh, and she's like, "Oh, it's just
my partner,
just my life partner thing." And we meet Sammy, who is an orangutan, and while
we find out that he is smart enough to sign.
Yep, he says, "I am Samuel," and
then he proceeds to get Moke to jack him off.
Yep, he gets to jack off a monkey. So Moke freaks out, and Peter Dinklage is at what did you say? Are you Habitat Heroes? He's like, yes. And she's like, oh no. So she locks him in the room. He's like, crap. So he steals her ID that he needs for part of his plan. And then he jumps out the
works
window.
for a construction yard.
Yep. And he jumps out the window, and they get in the car, and Josh Brolin gets some, what is that called? The hand sanitizer. He's like, oh God, thank you. Oh, he's putting it all of his face.
Not to mention, in order to get out, JD had to jump out the window.
Yes.
Out of the second story.
Yep, he jumped out the window from the second story, and he landed gracefully, I guess. Then later, while all their stuff is happening, Fartful comes to the same house, and he's like, "Where are these people?" And she's like, I was catfish, and they took my ID and all this stuff." Like she's a victim or whatever, because he's being very aggressive with her, being like, "Hey, where are these people? I need to find these people."
And then
he is
Sammy. Then he's introduced to Sammy.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, do you have a monkey?" Yes, she does. And probably the same thing happens, but he has like blood everywhere, so I assume he just got attacked. But we don't know if he got to jack him off or not.
I assume Sammy just attacked him because because there's two different situations. Moke wasn't being aggressive at all. Farfel was being very aggressive towards his life partner, so he probably attacked him.
Yeah, probably.
Right off the bat.
Yep. And so that was happening, and then meanwhile, what's the name? Oh, JD and Moke are in a motel, and they're like, "Hey, where's..." And Moke finds a letter that JD and his mom were having. They were having conversations, and they were like, "Oh, if we tell Moke too soon, he'll just get emotional." And of course, he immediately finds out, and he gets super emotional about it. He starts crying, and then their mom opens a door in another hotel room door, and she's like,
she just happened to be in the room right next to him.
Yeah, and so they reunited after 30 years.
After he freaks out and jumps off or falls out the balcony.
Yeah, hits his head, but he's fine. He's got to get some aspirin in him. But then they execute their plan, and their plan is to have Josh Brolin sneak into the construction yard, steal a bulldozer, and they could drive it to the golf course where the mom buried her partner, Glenn. Or not Glenn,
Dean.
Or
maybe it was Glenn. I think it was Glenn.
Well, if you scroll down, we can see who it was.
No, it didn't give any names.
Oh, and then it was Dean.
He was so inconsequential, he didn't even get a credit.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyways, Dean.
Unless...
I don't really care. Dean... I'm sure they would have it on IMDb.
That was on IMDb.
So Dean dies in the past or whatever when she's making her getaway, and she kind of just buries him in this random plot of land, and she puts her hand up to a what's it called, water tower, just to see like where it is, and so she knows where it's buried and where everything is. But was it showing?
Glenn.
Oh, it was Glenn?
Yep.
Oh. It was Glenn. Okay, not Dean. Glenn. We got that wrong. That's okay. Um,
Blame Wikipedia for not putting him in the.
it's Wikipedia. You can't trust anything with Wikipedia. Well, sports you can. Anything else, it's just. Anyways, what were we saying?
Talking about the great plan.
Yeah, the great plan with the bulldozer. They drive to this golf course and they start digging up the body. Then mom puts her hand up and sees the um, water tower and is like, oh yep, this is the spot. And she points right to the ground where he was buried. Start digging up, and as they're digging, they see like a golfer, and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, this is a private course. And he goes and gets his buddies, and they're like, hey, maintenance says on Monday. Today's Thursday. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to get in the bunker on the other hole. Come on, not this one.
That's after they dig up the body. Because as that's happening, they're digging into the corpse.
Yep. Moke gets the fun task of putting his hand in the guy's stomach and his dead stomach, and smells really bad. He eventually finds the emeralds, but by that time, we have a horde of golf carts and angry rich people who are like, I'm going to get my lawyer. You get off our damn lawn. This is a private course. Kind of thing. Maintenance is not today. It's on Monday.
Hence,
and then we get the best chasing ever with the golfers throwing golf balls, and they're like, yeah, hit them with your 9-iron. No, hit them with the driver. Yeah, that should work better.
At one point, there's also a guy working a wood chipper, and they go right past, and the guy decides to dive in front of one of the golf carts.
He's like, I gotta get out of the way. He dives in front of one of the golf carts. Another guy's cart gets stuck in a sand trap, and the other ones, I don't know, they just go off course or whatever, and they're just having this giant fight. The mom takes a flag that's on their golf cart, and she takes it and just like whacks them. She's like, haha, we got the number 10 flag. And Peter Dinklage is literally getting pulled. It's like what's that movie in the sand? The Mad Max one, the Furiosa thing. Like, they're just like having a battle, and he's like, but he's short, so they don't need to do much. And they're like, kick him, okay. He's like getting pulled onto one of the golf carts, and he kicks them, and they turn over, but they're able to get away. As soon as they get away to a spot, they start having an argument, of course, about God knows what. Moke's just being emotional. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe after all this time you're just using me, blah, blah, blah. And then it's revealed that it was JD that called his work to get him fired so that he would do this job. And he gets mad at him. And then, wouldn't you know it, Mr. Farfel comes, and he catches JD, ties him up, catches Moke, ties him up, and he offers the mom an ultimatum. It's like, hey, you can either give me the jewels or you can keep your boys. And she's like, sorry, boys, and she just runs off. And
all three of them.
Yeah, Farfel is like, what? I didn't think she was gonna do that. Oh man, I don't know what to do now. So they're chasing him, and then the guys who are tied up are chasing him, and Farfel puts him in his car, and he's like, I'm gonna take you to my dad's place where I'm gonna get you locked up. It's gonna be great. And they start getting into an argument in the car, and they somehow, like, as they're tied up, they kick Farfel, who's driving. He crashes to the side of the road. He gets knocked out, and they start driving. They're basically like head to head kind of thing, and Peter Dinklage
is using his
hands to drive the car while Josh Brolin works the pedals so they can get out of there. And they eventually untie themselves, and by this time the mom is cashing in
with Freddie Unk.
Yeah.
There's a character that was mentioned.
Whoever, I don't know really who that is.
The lawyer, their family lawyer.
Oh, okay.
That's very dirty from what.
Oh, the dirty family lawyer. That makes sense.
Because the whole family is criminals.
Yeah, I didn't know he was part of their family. I didn't know who that was.
I assume because Unk is his part of what they're calling
They
them.
didn't really explain that well, but that's okay. So she gets a lot of cash, she puts it in a bag, and the two boys are they're waiting for her, like, hey, where's our cut of the money? She's like, oh, this is my money. I would have given, you would have done the same situation if you were in my situation, you would have done the same thing. And she's like, they're like, where's our cut of the money? And she's like, it's my money. So she runs off to an abandoned mall, and the boys chase her. And then, of course, Fartful tracks the phone to Unk's place, and he realizes that they have ran into the mall, and he goes there and with a giant shotgun, and he has a bandolier of shotgun shells everywhere. He's got the body armor on. He's ready for a fight. So while the two boys are chasing after their mom, Fartful comes in. He starts shooting up the place, and they're Jody has a plan as they're pinned down. They're like, oh, we're just gonna give them. They somehow get the money, and Fartful has them cornered, and they come out and they're like, all right, we're gonna give you the money.
They get the money because Moke and the mom is having an argument, and JD is on the second floor. JD's on the first floor, and Moke accidentally throws it over the railing to where JD was.
Yep, and then we get a cool scene where they're down and they're like, what's the plan? We're getting shot up. And he sees a can of something, and they decide to give Fartful the money, and they're like, they put it down, they're like, here it is, we're just going to give you the money. And then they start getting into an argument. Like, I knew the whole time that it was just a fake argument, and they were just doing it to move away, to get Fartful all riled up and less suspicious. So they get to the point where they start making fun of Fartful, and then Mocha's like, oh, you two are working together. And then both of them are like, no, we're not working together. He's like, you didn't, it is true, you didn't get punched in the face. And Fartful's like, no, I punched him in the face. Your dad doesn't respect you. No, he says I'm a legend in the making. No, your dad doesn't care about you. No, he cares about me. I'm great. And they're like, and eventually they walk away, and Fartful opens the bag of money and gets sprayed in the face with, I don't know what it is, bug spray or something?
Aerosol.
Aerosol? Okay. Whatever.
At least that's what it looked like.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. He didn't like it. And then a tree falls over. He
shoots his gun into there.
Yeah, and then it hits
and then it explodes.
It explodes like a helium tank. And then the Christmas tree that's there falls over right onto him,
and on fire.
He gets on fire. Well, at least his leg is on fire. We don't know what.
And he's sitting there complaining, and
he's like, "Oh, Daddy."
JD just decides, "Oh, I'm just gonna go stomp it out."
And so they win the day, and they get the money, and then the mom sacrifices herself. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna." Because someone called the cops because there's shooting.
Frankie did. The lawyer.
Oh, he had a security guard with him.
Alarm.
He had a security guard with him.
He tripped the alarm when they were in there.
Yeah, well, the security guard called the cops who was there on, I think it was the mall cop or something, it looked like. But he's like, yeah, shots fired. So the mom goes out with the shotgun. She's like, I'm surrendering, blah, blah, blah. They get away, and then Josh Brolin gets his cut of the money.
He takes it to Fartful's dad.
He has
pay him off.
A slight conversation. He's like, there's $1.9 million. I want the gun. He's like, all right, cool. But you overpaid for it. And he says something like, what do you think about your son? He's like, oh, my son is a deadbeat idiot who doesn't know anything. He's a dull teapot, I think he calls him. And he's
chocolate more useless than a chocolate teapot.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. And he's like, well, you have this money, but I think you're gonna regret that one day, and you don't have any years left. And the guy, I didn't really know what he was saying, but maybe someone in the comments wants to say what he was saying. I don't really know. But then so he gives up his half the money, and then Jody gives up his half of the money to
JD.
make a
trust
JD,
fund
for a trust fund for their
Moke's
not born baby yet. And he's like, "What? I thought you were going to keep that." He's like, "No, I put it in a trust fund for her." Well, she won't. She's not going to get it until she's 18.
The second that he said that, I knew it was gonna be. He put in the wrong name.
Oh yeah, you put in Blueberry. They're like, "That's not her name. We're just being cute."
Because never once in the movie that they mentioned the baby's real name.
No, they just call it Blueberry. That's okay. But we didn't mention it either. That's how irrelevant this baby was.
So they get in a whole argument about what the name should be. And they end up naming the baby Blue.
Yep. And so they go to prison, and the mom sneaks them the other emeralds.
3 emeralds.
There's 3 emeralds, and then he shows Moke 2 emeralds. She's like, "This is what I have left." But Jody had snuck one for himself. So it's all good. And then the movie ends. So.
And it turns out the whole movie was him, JD, telling the story to Blueberry.
Oh.
Because that's how it wrapped up.
Oh, okay.
It was
cool.
And then Blueberry going, "Fuck you."
Oh, that's her being a little kid.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, there you go, kid. That's the spirit. Fuck you. Where's my cut? And baby talk. But overall, it wasn't a 4 for me. It was a little lower, like a 3.8 out of 5.
I'd give it a 5 or a 4. No,
4. Okay.
It
wasn't the best. There was some parts that were slow, but the chase scene was the best scene in this entire movie, and I do like Brendan Fraser's character. He's kind of a crazy goon that's trying to impress his father, but he can't do it because he's too dumb. That's what happens when you're too hard on your kids. You can be hard on your kids, but if you're too hard, then it makes them want to mess up more. It makes them mess up more. You keep calling them garbage or whatever, but yeah, there's really not much else to say on it. I like that they have a bunch of Marvel characters in this, and the whale. So that's nice. Good that the whale lost some weight and turned into a cop. Moving around and stuff like that. It's good exercise for you.
And he has to pay or fight the next mummy somehow.
Yeah.
And Mummy 5.
This mummy is going to be like a dwarf mummy, It's going to be a budget mummy. They're going to make it a little shorter so it doesn't cost as much to produce, And yeah. Anyways, that's all I have to talk about it. Do you have anything else to talk about?
No.
All right. Well, screw you, everyone. Go watch the movie and.
Or at least watch the car chase.
And by screw you, I mean go have fun with an orangutan. Have him screw you.
We might.
It'll be fun. I guarantee it.
No idea when our next review will be. Might be Tuesday. Might be.
Oh, I gotta pick a movie, don't I? I don't have a movie picked out. I'll pick one out. Maybe it'll be Barbie. Let's watch Barbie. It's gonna be a great film.
And for this week, I gave them a choice of 3 movies. Just asked them to pick a number, 1 through 3.
Yeah, it was just happened to be. I just picked 3. Yeah.
The other 2 were Heavier Trip and Crazy House.
Crazy House.
So my next choice will probably be Heavier Trip or Crazy House. Depending on how I feel.
I just watched Edward Scissorhands, and it's definitely a good movie, but it's super slow. There's just a bunch of garbage in that movie, but I like it. I saw it. I recommend that one too. And that's our review of Edward Scissorhands.
this won't be going up for a while, so that saying what we're doing next, that'll probably be
Probably be
up
out of
already.
order. I think I know someone that knows stuff about
See you
social
for
media.
Pokemon D&D.
Wait, we're doing Pokemon?
No,
today?
anime.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I brought the wrong